welcome to our group for presentation with the topic Aspect of Perception. First presentation will be delivered by Galang with the topic Cell Assembly and Process Sequences. Galang, time is yours.
Hello, I'm Galang. Today I am here to talk you about cell assembly and phase sequence. With cell assembly theory have achieved not only a solution to the problem of perceptual generation, but also a credible description of how information can be accurate, stored, and appropriately accessed for thought as well as recognition. His idea has been reclaimably durable and influential. Any theory that requires past experience to guide future behaviors relies on perceptual generation. That perceptual generation is often not even mentioned, let alone approached or solved. It is not at all clear why this is so. One possible contribution fact is the advent of computational approach to perception and cognition that can appreciate behavior without contributing much insight to the spectral mechanism of the problem being modern one approach that does share an implicit and the essential nature of perceptual generation is Gerard Edel's theory of natural group selection. Like cell assembly theory, that theory of neural group selection recognizes the contrary of perceptual generation in higher order cognitive process. But theory also shares agreement on the key role of semi-automatic central process that arise from perceptual learning in bridging neuropsychology and cognition. Have suggests that synapses between neurons that fire simulation are stagnant, forming cell assemblies and phase sequence. That the first on a short scale is a synchronous collection of cells that function temporarily as a closed processing system, and the second on a large scale that corresponds to the second activity of cell assembly applied to perception and behavior. Next perception will be presented by Yusra with the topic cognitive hypothesis and cognitive learning.
Thank you, Galang. Hi, I am Yusra. Today, I am here to talk to you about the cognitive hypothesis and cognitive learning. The cognitive hypothesis in perception states that we do not simply receive stimuli from the environment, but also have an understanding of what we perceive. This means that perceptual processes involve prior knowledge and experiences that influence how we interpret sensory information. Research shows that cognitive processes significantly influence our perception, suggesting that there is an interaction between cognition and perception. Therefore, this hypothesis asserts that perception is an active process involving knowledge and context, not just a passive response to stimuli. Cognitive learning is an approach in education that emphasizes the importance of mental process in learning. In this context, consciousness plays an important role, as individuals do not just passively receive information, but are also actively involved in processing and understanding the information. Cognitive learning involves various mental processes such as attention, perception, memory, and problem solving, all of which contribute to the way we learn and understand the world around us. The process of perception is the first step in cognitive learning. When we encounter stimuli from the environment, our brain does not just record the information, instead it interprets and gives meaning to the information received based on prior experience and knowledge. This suggests that cognitive learning serves to enrich our perceptual experience. Awareness serves as a bridge between perceptual experience and deeper understanding. When individuals are aware of and reflect on the information they receive, they can connect new concepts with existing knowledge. This process not only enhances understanding but also helps in the long-term storage of information. In other words, cognitive learning allows students to develop the critical and creative thinking strategies needed to solve complex problems. Okay, so next presentation will be presented by Bilqis with the topic illusion.
Thank you, Yusra. Hello, I'm Bilqis. Today I am here to talk to you about illusion. The psychology of visual perception of illusion is a pathological study in vision. The problem of visual illusion arises in the area of representation. The theory of representation, what we see when we see an image, with several supporting theories as written by Kat Kenny, namely the theory of causal relation, the theory of similarity, the theory of convention, and the theory of mental construction. Of the four theories, illusion is included in the theory of mental construction. According to the theory Kenny 2005, only your eyes are deceive, not your minds, when the false perceptual belief that we are faced with an object. First, visual illusion, for example, when saying the color of an object that looks different depending on the context or background. Second, auditory illusion, for example, when hearing a sound coming from one direction but sound like it is coming from a different direction. Third, perspective illusion, for example, a photo showing two objects that appear to be interacting with each other even though they are very far apart from each other. Last, the time illusion, for example, when time feels faster and slower depending on the experience or activity being done. Is illusion the same as imagination? Imagination, in the theory of consciousness, is the difference between reality and what is imagined. From the process of imagination, hallucinations appear. Hallucinations are concerned entirely internal process in consciousness, while illusions are misinterpretation of objects from outside. Illusion, such as seeing objects incorrectly. In conclusion, the difference between illusion and imagination is that illusion concerns the relationship between consciousness and the outside world and is mediated by the five senses through perception. Illusion distinguishes between the object world and the subject world, while imagination only occurs in the subject world. Next presentation will be presented by Farda with the topic.
Thank you, Bilqis. Hello, I am Farda. Today I am here to talk to you about delusion. Delusions are one of the most confusing phenomena on the spectrum of psychopathology. Explanation regarding the etiology of delusion have ranged from hypotheses about defects in the ability to think logically to the projection of unexpected inner impulses. On the contrary, delusion is defined as a false consolation about the outside world, when a true conscience can be drawn and clear evidence in is availability is several types delusions. First, controlled delusion. Delusion where feelings, impulsions, thoughts, or action are conceived not once on because they are imposed by an external force. Second, delusion bizarre. A false belief that is very unreasonable and not based on facts. Third, delusion grandiose. Delusion that include an exaggerated sense of self-importance, power, knowledge, or identity. Fourth, delusion jealousy, which is the delusion that someone's sexual partner is involved. Last, delusion nihilism. Delusion raises the theme of self-absence or become a part of oneself. other, or the world. Next presentation will be presented by Alena with the topic hallucination.
Thank you, Farda. Hello, my name is Alena. Today, I'm here to talk you about hallucinations. So, hallucinations is a sensory perception disorder of an object without any external stimuli. This disturbance can affect all the senses, including hearing, sight, touch, taste, and smell. Hallucinations are often a symptom of mental disorders where the patient experiences false sensations such as hearing voices, seeing images, or perceiving non-existent smells or tastes. Research indicates that hallucinations may be confused by damage to specific areas in the brain and abnormal levels of neurotransmitters. Although the underlying mechanisms of hallucinations are not yet fully understood, some theories suggest that hallucinations may occur due to top-down expectations, which also play a role in the perception of illusions. In the context of Gestalt psychology, it is also explained that hallucinations are considered to occur due to disturbance in the Gestalt function stored in the brain. Hallucinations can be classified into several types. The first is visual hallucinations, which mean individuals see things that do not actually exist, such as shadows, shapes, or objects that are not real. The second is auditory hallucinations, which mean perception of sounds that do not come from an external source, such as hearing voices when no one is around. The third is tactile hallucinations, which mean sensations of touch or feeling on the skin without any physical stimulus. The fourth is olfactory hallucinations, which mean smelling odors that do not exist. The last is gustatory hallucinations, which mean perception of taste on the tongue that does not correspond to reality. Hallucinations are one of the symptoms that are closely related to the mental disorder schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a serious mental disorder that affect the way a person thinks, feels, and behaves. In schizophrenic disorders, the most common hallucinations are auditory hallucinations. These hallucinations can be very disturbing and confusing because someone who experiences them may have difficulty distinguishing between reality and the hallucinations.
That's all for our group presentations. Thanks for watching and good morning.